Hello the internet, I've got another review for you, a 6-in-1 solar kit. Similar to the saltwater engine car, but this time it's solar powered. And also, in this case, you also get numerous different things to build. You can't transform it or anything like that, it's not a transformer, but you can build at least 6 different models. So it's an educational and fun way to teach the principles of solar power. So you've got various windmills and so on and so forth. Not sure if you could actually plug this into your house and power your house up that way, but you never know. Might just be possible to do it that way. I doubt it, but there you go. Now, the last kit I reviewed along these lines showed you how everything was connected. This looks like it's stored in a different way in this box, but you got the contents pack there. You got the various different models. You got the usual warnings. Well, I'll go and put that together, and then we'll see what we've got. And we're back, and I put this together. I put it in the windmill configuration. You have a little motor here that you have to put together. You have the solar panel at the back. And the one problem that I have, either I have the anti-Midas touch, wherein everything I touch that's electrical just doesn't want to work, except my camera, or this thing just is a pile of shite. And I think it's possibly a combination of the two. I'll tell you for why. The motor, okay, you might not be able to see this clearly on the camera, but these wires here, both the positive and negative, go into a spring. It's the same setup on both parts. So again, if the camera will focus, you should be able to see the springs there, and the wires go in. You basically have to effectively, I'll just use one of the spares, you have to effectively get the metal parts that are exposed. You have to get the metal parts that are exposed and just work them into the spring. Again, you have to do that on both ends. I don't know why, but I've got 2 spares that are much shorter than these versions. I don't know why, but there you go. I'm also assuming that this metal rod thing here must have some use for something else. There we go. So there's also this out of focus piece of metal, which I've just managed to get into focus. I'll probably have done a fair bit of editing to get this to work. And I've no idea what that's for either. I've no idea what either of these 2 spare wires are for, other than perhaps to replace these, should they fail, but they already have failed. Now, of course, I am not dealing with solar light at the moment. It's the middle of the night as I record this. Well, not really, it's about 6 PM. But, you know, the idea with solar panels is that they will pick up and use any form of light. But of course, since this doesn't seem to want to work, there's no point actually making any of the other models to even check with. So, a bit of a disappointment. As far as the construction is concerned, it's relatively cheap plastic, but it's not going to be broken easily, unless of course you really decide to force yourself on it. Slightly lower quality plastic than I remember Airfix models being made of, but slightly thicker as well. I'm not a big fan of the engine either. This is the engine part here. Everything is basically being held together just by those little pegs that go into the little plastic holes that are drilled in. There's nothing to secure it more, like say a screw to go through the middle of it. But it makes a point of telling you not to let the internal wires be touched by the shaft that connects the blades in this case. And it's fairly obvious why you wouldn't do that, but the wires are so long that it's very difficult to make sure that that doesn't happen. It's quite difficult to actually assemble this in the way that it's intended. That might be a problem. There might be something internal there that I can't see right now that's actually causing the problem. But overall, at the end of the day, it doesn't look nice. It doesn't work. Feels a bit on the cheap side, in all honesty. Don't bother.